Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 153 in the Gospel of John. Today is going to be I am forsaken versus it is finished. We're back at the foot of the cross, just like yesterday. And there we find four women and John and, of course, Jesus. And they're all close enough that they can hear what each other is saying. And today, Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's one of the 7 things he says on the cross. And it's not so much a statement as it is a reference. And if that's the only line of Psalm 22 that you read, you may think that God forsakes Jesus on the cross. And I humbly submit that this is an error. Jesus makes the reference because he's in air hunger and is being asphyxiated and cannot speak all of Psalm 22, which is the crucifixion psalm. And if he did, he can't do it because he's in air hunger and can't breathe. It's like saying 7 years ago, and you want the listener to fill in the rest of it. In fact, Jesus then even comes to the last line. So Jesus quotes the first line, forsaken me, and the last line, it is finished, on the cross, saying to us, go read Psalm 22, which is what we're going to do today. So this is not an abandonment, or a forsaking. It's the triumph of Psalm 22. You cannot read the why have you forsaken me psalm and concludes that God forsakes or abandons or is separating. He's referring all of Psalm 22. So let's do that. Psalm 22, verse 1, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. Yet, so here's kind of the turn, the person is turning, it's the psalm written by David. Yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our fathers trusted. They trusted and you delivered them. To you they cried and were rescued. And in you they trusted and were not put to shame. So we see this decision and turning. And like many psalms, it kind of starts with feelings and circumstances, and then he declares, let's go back through history. And he does that and says, this is what our fathers did. I'm going to jump down to verse 11. Here's Jesus' prayer. Be not far from me, for trouble is near. There's none to help. Many bulls encompass me, the bad people around the cross. Strong bulls of Bashan surround me. They open wide their mouths at me like a ravening and roaring lion. And that's exactly what the mockers did around the cross. And then we start this most horrible and accurate description of crucifixion. Verse 14. I am being poured out like water. All my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It's melting within my breast. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death. So he's all dehydrated. Verse 16, for dogs encompass me. A company of evildoers encircles me. That's the Jewish officials that are mocking him. They have pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them. For my clothing they cast lots. So we've already seen many of these are prophecies of Psalm 22 being fulfilled. Verse 19, but you, O Lord, be not far off. He prays for intimacy. To you, my help, come quickly to my aid. Then let me jump down to verse 23. All you offspring of Jacob, glorify him, and stand in awe of him, all you offspring of Israel, for he is not despised. Pay attention. He is not despised or abhorred the affliction of the afflicted. He has not hidden his face from him. He has heard when he cried to him. Psalm 22 is not about abandonment. He says he's not despised, not abhorred. He's not hidden his face, and he has heard. Verse 27, all the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to the Lord. All the families of the nations shall worship before you. For kingship belongs to the Lord. He rules over the nations. So it's not a psalm about abandonment. It's a psalm about victory and triumph and majesty and accomplishment. And like many psalms, it starts with bad feelings and problems, and it ends in glory and praise. So here's the final line of it, which Jesus also quotes on the cross. It shall be told, this is verse 30, it shall be told of the Lord to the coming generation. They shall come and proclaim his righteousness to a people yet unborn, that he has done it. So that's translation from the Hebrew. The translation in the Greek probably said, in Aramaic, Jesus said, "It is finished." So Psalm 22 is quoted at the beginning, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And at the end, he's done it. It's finished. And Jesus is telling you, go read Psalm 22. I can't tell you all the wonderful things that are in Psalm 22. It's a perfect description of crucifixion. And Jesus says, it's finished. It's accomplished. You did it, Father. The rescue is complete. You've seen me all the way to the end. The promises have been fulfilled. Jesus quotes the beginning of Psalm 22. He quotes the end of Psalm 22, and he uses two sentences of the only 7 that he has, because he's air hungered to death, to bookend the two sides of Psalm 22, to refer us to all the in-betweens. Then here's the big thing, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong about this, but Psalm 22 says he has not been despised. He has not been abhorred. The Father's face was not hidden from the psalmist. I think that Psalm 22 is a psalm not about abandonment, my God, why have you forsaken me, but of victory and triumph. So you decide. Go read Psalm 22, beginning to end. Jesus says the first line, he says the last line. He tells us to read Psalm 22. I suggest we do it. Thanks for listening.